What's up, guys? I'm back like I never left. In this video, we are going to be talking about the top 3 stocks that we talked in the past that can potentially double. So I'm going to be doing an update about these stocks, and we're going to go over exactly how to properly think and analyze and find these stocks that are actually breaking out to the upside. So I'm going to go over and explain to you guys exactly what you need to do in order to find and identify these stocks. I'm also going to be doing a quick stock market recap, so make sure you stay tuned. Now let's get right into the video. Now, I would really appreciate it if you can hit the like button. If you have any questions, any comments, make sure you drop it in the comment section below. So these are going to be the companies that we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about 4 to 5 stocks. You know, I covered these companies in the past, like a few weeks ago. So these are the stocks that can potentially be doubling. So one of the stocks is going to be ticker symbol NGA. Now, this was one of the stocks, and all of them actually made a new 52-week high today, and that is fantastic. So we're going to go over it later on and explain to you how to identify and find these specific stocks. So the first company I'm going to be talking about is going to be NGA. So today it eventually broke out to the upside. It's up 12.99%. So this is going to be a company that's going to be doing a merger with Lion Electric. So that is, we talked about it in detail in the past, what the company, what they do, what are some of the vehicles that are actually out there right now that's been produced, and they have vehicles out there that are actually servicing some school districts in the US, so you can go check out that video if you want more detailed information about this company. So another stocks that we talked about, of course, is going to be Tuscan Holdings. This is one of the companies that we talked about a few weeks ago, that this can potentially be going higher once they announce their merger, and also if they proceed with it. This is all the SPACs that we talk about are associated with electric vehicle companies. So that's what you're looking at right now today. It's up and it made a new 52-week high of around like $20.68 to the upside. So it's looking really fantastic. And the last stock is, of course, going to be GIK. Now, this is also a company that I covered in detail in the past. As you can see, the stock's performing very well. So I really wanted to cover some important information for you to really understand. I think it's going to help you out a lot, because usually when I talk about these companies or make updated videos, when these stocks actually break out to the upside, there are some people in the comments that say, do you have any other stocks that are actually not hitting 52-week highs? So that is a really not good mindset to have, especially if you want to find hot stocks that are having a lot of momentum. And just because a company just hit a 52-week high, that does not mean that the momentum is over. That does not mean that is going to crash down to the downside. What you need to do is that when a stock hits a new 52-week high, you definitely need to create a watch list. So basically what that means is you're going to go into your brokerage accounts, either on Webull or on Robinhood, and you can type in the ticker in and you put it there and you look at for the news results, so, and also identify why is it hitting new 52-week high, and you also come and check at the volume and see exactly why is there a lot of volume, why there's a lot of interest. So when you look at the volume, it's just the amount of shares that are being bought and sold. So once you analyze that and you check what is the future catalyst that's going to make the stock go higher, if you like it, then you keep watching it. Now, all these companies that we talked about in the past, I talked about them because they have a potential merger, and there's been a lot of hype on these EV companies. So we expect them to potentially be trading higher and higher. So that's exactly what happened, right? So when I made that video, these stocks are making 52-week highs. So you have to understand, just because a stock made a high, that does not mean it's not over. These SPAC companies, or these high momentum companies, if you want to get involved with them in the short term or swing trade it, you need to learn how to roll with the punches. So these stocks are definitely going to be beaten down to the downside once they make a significant move. Like over here, let's say for NGA, it went up to $15 and it went pull back all the way down to 12. So you have to really manage your position size if you want to get involved in them. And also you do your research and you see if there's going to be a catalyst that's going to affect this company in the near future. And if you find that, you have to understand and just be holding these companies and hoping that the catalyst is going to make them spike up higher, So that is important research that you have to do on yourself, on your own, to figure out if it's worth rolling with the punches. So the dev stock definitely is going to get beaten down, but you need to understand if it's worth it or not. So you don't want to just hold a stock and, sweating all every day, like the stock just pull all the way down to like 15 if you got it at 15. pull back to $12. That's a huge pullback. That's a huge percentage drawdown on your account. So also you have to manage your position size, as I mentioned. So that is an important thing you need to understand too when it comes to this high momentum stocks. So a perfect example to make this point is going to be for QuantumScape. Now, QuantumScape stock, I made a detailed video about this company initially when the news break out that the stock is going to be doing a merger and is going to go public. And the stock made a 52-week high over here. It was a SPAC and it broke out to the upside. There's a lot of hype on it, right? So we talked about it. Is there a potential, right? Is there a future catalyst that the company is going to be going higher? So we talked about in detail that the merger might potentially make the stock go higher, because at that time when we talked about it, this stock was actually trading lower and lower to the downside. So some of the SPACs that were trading at that moment, at that time, when they do the merger, they're breaking out to the upside. But however, there has been a season that the stock was basically just selling off to the downside. So there's going to be a season where you have to roll with the punches as the stock gets beat down and down to the downside. So I talked and I made another video in detail on my second channel where you can go and subscribe. In the description box below, there's links to it. I talked about it when it initially broke out right around over here, when it made a new 52-week high. I talked about it because it caught my attention, because there is a lot of the volume. You see, there's a lot of investors, there's a lot of people that came in and bought it, right? The volume increased drastically. There's 23 million shares bought at that time. So that caught your attention. And then I did more research about it and be like, hey, what is the future potential of this company? Why is this stock going up? You do more research about it. You try and identify, okay, is there a huge growth potential for the future? Is it worth getting involved in it? Is it worth getting punched with this stock? If this stock eventually sells off to the downside, that's going to be the important question you also want to be asking out for. So if you decide to get involved in it, you definitely get paid with it. But however, you have to be able to be patient. The stock definitely can go down to the downside. That is the risk with it. And of course, even if the stock goes up significantly like this, it's definitely going to be rough to hold through this huge dips, from 49 all the way down to like 31 or $30, so from, $80 all the way down to 70. So these companies are definitely going to be super volatile. So as I mentioned, if you have a manageable size on them, you can definitely take advantage of it. Now, the last company that I'm going to be talking about, if you made it to this part of the video, it's going to be LGVW. So QS, which is QuantumScape, performed very well because we got Bill Gates that is invested in this company. Now, another SPAC company that could potentially be breaking out to the upside and having a massive move just like QS in the future, I believe is going to be LGVW. Now, this SPAC is going to be doing a merger with a company that Bill Gates is invested in. So I think that Bill Gates is definitely... So I personally think that looking at what happened to QuantumScape and Bill Gates invested in it, and you find LGVW, I think this company is definitely going to be a winner in the future. I made a detailed video about this company, so definitely check out the old videos that I posted. And I think this is definitely going to be a winner in the future. So now let's talk about what happened in the stock market today. As you can see over here, we have the stock market that relatively sold off to the downside right after market close. We have some sectors that perform very well. We talked about all these bank stocks a few days ago that they can have a potential to go higher and higher because of the buyback that was allowed for these companies. So definitely look out those companies that I talked about. You can check out the video. And also we have Apple stock that's been down. The stock's been performing very well the past few days. And Amazon, Disney, Facebook, they've been trading out to the downside a little bit. But tomorrow is going to be a half day, so the stock market is going to be closed around 1 p.m. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We don't have any economic reports for tomorrow. Subscribe if you have any questions, any comments, make sure you drop in the comment section below. And also make sure you manage your risk if you want to get involved with any of these SPAC companies, speculative companies. It can be very risky, as I mentioned in the video. So hope you have an awesome Christmas Eve tomorrow. So let's get it for tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.